So thank you all again for coming. We're going to begin. What's the matter?
Everything's locked up. Good.
Everything's tight, right? Yeah, good. Okay. Does anybody have a quick question before we begin? Because sometimes people may have a question. It's a small group. This is great. Yes? You good? Okay. I'm going to start. All right. I got to move my head twice. I do. I don't know. I'm not going to float. I'm just going to. Here we go. Please listen right through here. I don't mean to upset anyone. You know, sometimes people can have issues in the skull itself, yes? People can have issues in the skull. You can have aneurysms. You can have tumors. Do you guys know the person, I don't mean to point, ladies, but right here, that either someone had a fracture of the skull itself. Here, listen, I don't mean to hurt your hearts. What's your name, please?
Colleen.
Hi, Colleen. Nice to meet you.
Haley.
Haley? Mm-hmm. How cool are you guys? This is mother and daughter?
Yeah.
That's the name you gave her. Yeah. That's pretty cool. My youngest daughter is Kyla Ryan. Little variation, right? But hear me out. You can fracture your skull playing hockey. You can go through the windshield of a car. You can flip a motorcycle. Someone could hit you with a baseball bat in a bar fight and fracture your head and split your skull. Yes or no? Right? With respect. Don't tell me anything. But would you know, with respect, if someone had an injury to the skull, yes or no? You can use your voice, so they think you're drunk. Okay, so just say yes or no. That can be affected by their own doing, right? Like they jump off a roof, or someone has done it to them, which is more the feeling I'm getting. Do you know if someone struck somebody or hit somebody? No. Or there was just an impact to the skull itself? Yeah. Okay, it's one thing to say, I have impact to the skull. I was 4 years old, I'm fine now, I have a little blip from where it was, a little cut, and I'm good to go. And then sometimes people have a compression fracture, it shakes the whole carriage, and the next thing you know, they're fighting for their life, they're on a respirator, and they don't finish. Is that the person that's here?
Yes.
I don't know you. Why would I make that statement to two lovely ladies about someone with a fractured skull that's on a respirator? They're right behind you. That's how I know it, because I can see it. Respectfully. If someone's on a respirator or life support, either they end on their own doing, or the family says, no more. Let's take them off. They bring in a palliative team. They bring in some kind of repair team. And I say, okay, please step out of the room. We're going to let them go. You can come back in or something like this. Yes or no? They're asking for you to, they're communicating to you, not to me. I'm just interpreting for them. Did that happen? Was someone taken off life support?
No.
They died on their own?
No.
You're telling me they're still living?
Yes.
Oh, then I want to go back to this again because I have to interpret this. So you have someone at home or someone close to your heart that had a severely fractured skull who is on some kind of a support system. So as we speak now, I don't want to hurt you, but as we speak now, are they still on support?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to say anything out of turn here. Have there been conversations about taking them on or off?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if it was just like, if medical people came in and said, hey, look, this will clear up. Just give it another week. The swelling's going down. They're starting to see again. They're hearing again. They're talking again. They're picking up their own food for lunch. You might say, okay, recovery's at work. But if they're still kind of in that twilight, in and out, hear a voice, maybe squeeze my hand stuff, and there's no sense of real recovery coming, there may be a conversation that says, in time, we have to let this happen. Yes? That's what I'm seeing. With respect, may I ask who this is?
My best friend.
Okay, so I don't want to hurt you, sweetheart, okay? Sorry, Haley. But if you have a friend that was injured in a car accident, if someone flipped a motorcycle, I have to interpret it, okay? But I know someone had a compression fracture of the skull. Would you also know offhand if there was any body paralysis? Was she not able to move her neck?
Yeah, they're on a paralytic medication.
Okay, if they're keeping her sedated with medication because it's too egregious and they're keeping her in a coma state, I'm not trying to hurt you. And I'm not my boss, that's for sure. This is a time to stay very close. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. But I know it's true. But the question I'm asking is, why would I come to you guys with that story? Right? That's what I said to you in the intro. They're going to come right at you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's the only reason why
I'm sorry?
Is the reason they're here.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm just asking. Now, this is a little sensitive. Okay? Okay. Oh, boy. Sometimes people have a fear of doctors, right? I mean, and I happen to be a fan of physicians. They've treated me very well in my lifetime, but I can understand why someone gets nervous of giving blood, or they don't want to get a shot, or if they were really burned or something, or they weren't well cared for in some place somehow, yes? Where does the person come in now that was afraid of doctors, afraid of emergency rooms, was begging, people were begging them to go, and they refused to go, and it wound up taking their life? Yes, Who would not go to the hospital? It's correct. Go ahead.
Possibly my husband.
Not possibly. Okay, I don't mean to be impolite. If your husband is here, she's also crossed?
He's crossed.
Yes. With respect, okay, that man, and I'll get to him in a minute, he's insisting that someone connected to him would refuse to go for the hospital. Was that his mom? Was that his dad? Who refused, or was that him?
It was not him.
Where does the person come in through your husband that refused to go to the hospital?
His brother Mike was sick and didn't want to go.
How do you know that?
I just remember.
I'm a pest. Otherwise, you're just agreeing with me to do that. Don't agree with me.
No.
I have a cop world mentality. How do you know that? So if you're telling me you had a conversation with somebody, with his wife, with your husband, this is your husband's brother Michael?
Yeah, I was around at that time.
Did you hear it as well? Like, let's go to the emergency room? I'm not going there.
He was sick and he should have went to the doctor and he just did not want to go.
Did he cross from that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Now, if you said he had a head cold, he just didn't go, that's fine. All right, you didn't go to the doctors, you're better, you're fine, go play golf. But if he was sick like that, and he could have been helped, and he insisted on not getting help, and the family said, well, you gotta go, man. Nope, not going, I'll get through this on my own, and it wound up killing him. Yes or no? That man is coming in around with your husband, who's the one that's telling me about your friend with the fractured skull, who's on the edge of eternity. They're waiting for that person. It's nice to know that when you're about to cross over, people that love you are showing up, no? Mm-hmm. Isn't that nice to hear? Rather than saying you'll go into darkness and no one will see you again. Right? It's kind of comforting, right or wrong? I got to say something else. It's better be wrong. In the Japanese culture, if someone does something wrong, they'll cut off the top of their pinky. You may have seen it in movies. They actually cut off they'll snap it off. Like a gangster thing, they cut it off. When I was in Japan, you would see guys running around with half a pinky, and they had tattoos a lot. They're called the Yakuza. They're gangsters, basically. Who lost part of their finger?
My father.
How do you know that?
Because I grew up in the attic.
That's my girl. I'm not talking about a little chip at the end of his finger. Did your dad have part of his finger amputated?
Yeah.
Why would I say that to you? Right there. Now, to say I have a dad figure here who's a nice guy with a big smile, I could say it to her, I could say it to her, I could say it to them. But I have a man here who's going like this. I'm missing part of my hand. Machine shop, accident, car crash, car door, whatever did it, I don't know how he did it, but he tells me he's like this.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Right here, crossed over, yes?
Yes.
And he's got the man called your husband,
Yes.
and he also has the woman, I'm sorry, the person, the brother figure,
Right.
that would not go to the hospital also died.
Right.
I don't know them. This is how the souls communicate. Do you understand? Because they want you to know who they are. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Last gentle comment, then I have to jump. Do you see this friend a lot?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. I don't want to say anything else about it, but just stay close. I want to keep it soft like that. Okay, I want to keep it soft. I don't want to do this last piece. Don't ask me to do this. All right, I have no choice. I have to do it. Sometimes a woman delivers a baby, right? And the baby is kicking and moving. It's got an APCAR of 9.9 or something, or a pretty high grade. Everyone's excited. Everyone's thrilled for the new baby. And then the baby dies. Who lost the infant?
I've had a miscarriage.
Not miscarriage.
Then my sister-in-law lost an infant.
Listen, I don't mean to hurt you.
No, it's okay.
If someone loses an infant child, that is your husband's sister?
No,
How is she your sister-in-law?
my brother's wife.
Okay, so your brother's wife, is that the brother that crossed?
No.
That's a different brother. Oh, that was your husband's brother. I'm sorry, okay. So you have a biological brother that's still here?
Yeah.
They're still a family?
Yeah.
Okay. If they had a child come into the world, right?
Right.
They come into the world, infant, moving, kicking, eyes opening, moving around. Shortly after that, there was a crossing, was there not?
Right.
Did they never take that baby home?
No, they did not.
That's right. There are children that come home a year or two old, and they die of SIDS in the bedroom or in the bathroom, not in the bathroom, in a bassinet or something, and like the sky falls on those parents. Forget about it. But if there was a NIC unit involved, there was pediatric intensive care, if there was developmental delays, but they had a breathing, living baby into the world and exited, yes?
Died at birth.
But the baby came into the world.
Right.
That's the key. The mother of that child might say, what happened to my baby? What happened? Your father has this child. He's rocking the baby. That's why I saw it. I can see that like I see you. I'm not bragging. That's just what happened to me. Okay, so I have to move along. So we have your storyline about your friend. We have your husband coming through. I want to say one other thing, and then I really have to move because I could really stay with you guys, but people are in a group setting here, if you don't mind, all right? When he died, were you not with him?
No, I was with her.
Who walked out of the room? Because he said, someone left me before I crossed, right? There's no judgment here. Yeah, she definitely did.
We got there, but we were not there as, no, you walked in and he died a couple of seconds after you walked in, right?
Right, we weren't there.
Not.
And then we came in at the last.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Because he makes me feel he wouldn't die in front of you. There was something about his process with it. So if you're telling me you just saw it at the last second, is that what you're saying?
At the last second I came in, I was not there for.
When he passed.
No, I was when he passed. I was not there right before he was passing.
Okay, I don't want to ping pong it. I don't. Not often people realize when someone has died. Sometimes people have died 20 minutes before, and it looks like they're still breathing, and they're not. He's just, your dad keeps making me feel, I won't die in front of my child. I'm trying to protect my daughter. No disrespect to you. He doesn't mind your presence, of course. But who told him it was okay to let go?
I did.
Okay. Many people I meet say, oh, everybody does that. No, they don't. Some people say, don't you give up. We'll go to another hospital. Don't you dare leave me. We're not giving up. I'll stay here all friggin' night if I have to with you. But you're not dying. Don't even think about dying. I get this a lot with parents with children. They don't say it's okay to go. They don't. But he told me he heard it. You understand me? And would you know offhand if there was a misdiagnosis?
In the beginning, yes.
Yes, ma'am. So he didn't die in a plane crash. He wasn't burned in a house fire. He was sick. And they had it wrong in the beginning because physicians don't know in the beginning. They have a lot of work to do to figure out what the hell it is, right or wrong. And by the time I figure it out, a little too late, a little too late. That's his story. The question is to the audience, I don't know them. Why do I know any of this? You're witnessing the miracle of contact. Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Does that make sense? Okay? All right. Thank you very much for that. You're welcome. Oh, boy, that was tough. This is right here. Okay, I'm going to sit for a second. I know you're not together. I understand it. I get it. I get it. But please listen to me. And this happens every once in a while with me. I'm interpreting. Don't mind me for a second. This is with this family. No disrespect. Would you guys know if there was someone in the family that you didn't realize was in the family that was in the family? Yes. Right? In other words, someone shows up and you find out you have a brother you never heard of before, or you have a sister you never met, and you say, and you're having dinner and someone says, well, did you meet your brother? Like, what brother? That kind of a feeling, like someone had a baby unknown, someone raised a child out of the area.
We're learning of cousin.
Such
sending it back.
okay, with respect.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Grace.
Grace?
Jordan.
Jordan, hi. Mother, daughter?
Yes.
Just asking. The question would be, which I'm a pest because I explain a little bit when I work, why would I mention this to you? So if you're telling me as a unique story, you grew up with somebody, a cousin, my cousins and I grew up together, we still talk, we still communicate. 50, 60 years later, we're still talking to each other. So if you're telling me that you have a family member, do you know if that family member raised a child or had a child show up or a sibling show up that they didn't realize was theirs?
No, it's just we've learned to go all new cousins that we didn't know, but not someone raising a child. I don't know if anybody.
Okay, I want to restate what I'm doing this. I want to do it again. I'm not asking if there are people you never met.
Yeah, okay.
That's a lot of people. I mean, you have a cousin that has a baby and lives in Tennessee, and you never met them. You never met
The
them.
whole branch of the family, we're just finding out about.
That's what I want.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me there's a portion of your family that you never knew existed,
Yes.
and it's like new to you, like where the hell did they come from? Like the hillbillies out of like, West Virginia or something. Where the hell these guys come from,
Yeah.
right? That's what I'm being told. Did you recently find out about that?
Yes. And
That's
so,
it. Okay, which means someone that loves you, who has crossed over, is sharing this specific reference to me, just to you two. Right? So George, you and Mom heard this story about this other family, this other whole side of the family you never even knew existed before. It's not like you heard about them, you never met them. You just never knew they even were around, yes or no?
Yep.
Gently. Was someone born with a shoulder like this?
Not a shoulder.
Or their back? I mean, sometimes people can have a porosis or a bulging of something. They're telling me someone had a shift in their body.
There's a history of hip problems.
People have hip problems, hip
Yeah.
replacements.
No.
I'm talking about,
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude.
No,
What's your name again?
Grace.
Stop talking. I'm such a pain in the ass. Hear me out. I worked with special ed for 20 years. I know special ed.
Yeah.
I work with them. I work with children with cerebral palsy. I work with children who were hit by cars. I've worked with them all. Was someone born with a birth defect of the structure? Did someone have a tilt?
Not them.
So then who's the person of the hip you're speaking of?
Well, my niece.
Your niece, what's wrong with her hip?
Well, it's okay now, but there's something about. It
Her-
wasn't like in right. And
Yes.
To wear a
A
prosthetic.
When she was little,
Yeah.
did she grow up with it?
No, she's okay now.
No. When she was a child, did she have it on for a long
Yeah,
period of
yeah.
time? So it was a therapeutic device to kind of help her keep balance and until the hip settled into place, locked in. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's all I'm asking. She's still around? She's still. Who is Catherine?
Well, not Catherine, but
Who's Katie, Kathleen?
Kathleen's my sister.
With respect.
Yeah.
I don't know you
Yeah.
guys. My wife's name is Kate.
Yeah.
It's a nice name. It's a common name. But they're asking me to share that name specifically with you guys. I need tissues. Excuse me 1 second. Yep, right behind me. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Please understand, I'm at the mercy of memory. If someone's memory's off, the quick answer is no. Right? That's what people do. And then I say, no, it's not what they're showing me. Oh, no, you got it. So I'm asking politely. So they're describing somebody who had this feel, but it feels in my shoulder. But if you're telling me it was in the hip, I'll take it. But it would have to be some kind of prolonged, extended period of therapy, OT, PT, brace, something. Maybe as a young woman, she's eventually straightened up and is moving along greatly. I hope so. Yes?
Yeah.
I'm just asking, right? Now, this is sensitive, this next piece. Either you're with someone when they die or you're not, right or wrong,
Right.
right? So you can walk into a room and find someone dead, or you're in the hospital saying goodbye to someone that you love and you're present. Yes? They're making me feel someone was found deceased. Did someone walk into a room and find someone near death?
I was in the room.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, stay there.
Yeah.
Now, if someone is in a medical unit or in a home bedroom or in a living room in the house, and someone is attending to them, not because they broke their ankle, but because they have cancer or they have some kind of egregious sickness, right? There's more than cancer, obviously,
Yeah.
but this feels cancerous to me, respectfully.
Yeah.
So if someone was in, let's say, Sloan Kettering, or they went up to St. Francis, or they were being attended somehow, and they said, we're going to go home. We're going to go back. We're going to set up a home setting. Is this the same home where they had the medical bed come in?
Yep.
Okay, stay with me. I just want to give you comparisons here. My dad died in his easy chair. My mother died in Queens Hospital. We never had any of that medical bed stuff. None of it. Nothing wrong with it, but we never had it. So in my reference, I'd say, I don't know what you're talking about because we never had any of that. Not that I know of, but not here. So with respect, if someone was in the bedroom, or they couldn't keep them in the bedroom and put them in the den or put them in the living room, is that this person?
Yeah.
And you're pushing the sofa back, you're pushing the TV back, you're doing all of that, yes or no?
Yep.
I'm just asking. And they're on a medical bed with side rails, yes?
Yeah.
Which would be a palliative care, hospice care, yes?
Yep.
Right? Other people in this room may have similar situations, right? Similar, probably, I guess. But I'm only speaking to you guys, right, about this person, right? As with the family behind you, either you're there when they die or you're not. Yes?
Yeah.
I know. Don't tell me things. But you were not. You would know if you saw someone finish.
I was in the house.
It's not there.
Yeah.
People get upset with me because they tell me they were there and they were in the coffee shop because they've been up for 2 straight days. And the medical team comes down and taps them on the shoulder and says, we're sorry, they just left.
Yeah.
And then everybody flies upstairs again to say goodbye. But they weren't there when death came, right? Okay, so here, I don't mean to point,
Yeah, sorry.
but it's around you,
Yeah.
right? So if you're telling me you were there, you put your head on their chest, you held them and cried on their shirt, whatever this was, similar to the beautiful family behind you, you also said, it's okay, now let go.
Yeah.
Did you not?
I did.
Who had the bell?
She did.
Okay, listen, I don't know, in your home, in my house, if I say, Katie, my wife's Kate, right? Hey, Katie, I need you, she'll come in. If she says, Rob, I need you, I can hear it. I don't need a megaphone, right? I don't have a big, gigantic, I have a regular little house, regular house, right? I can hear it. I don't need bells going off. Do people may have bells for dinner? Do people have bells for ships? Do people have bells for churches? I get it. But if you're telling me your beautiful mother or your daughter had a bell next to her bed, and at 2 in the morning, if she was scared or she needed to go to the bathroom or something, ring, ring, and you come, whoo, what do you need? This is you.
Yeah.
Do you still have the bell?
I do.
I know you do.
But it wasn't so much that, it was another thing, that's right.
Okay, but you understand the bell reference.
Oh, yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to interpret,
Yeah.
because I'm about ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't want, I have other
know the
people to,
bell.
you
The
understand? But if you have the bell at home, if it was a bell collection, if they had a thing, but if they had a bell because they were in the bed, whatever that may be, I'm not talking about a hospital
No, no,
buzzer.
no.
I'm talking about a bell,
Oh, yeah.
right? Do you know if they rang it before they died?
No.
Did you ever hear them ring it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so they needed to call you that way.
They did call us that.
That's correct.
Occasionally.
And they are doing it again.
Just to annoy the hell out of me.
No, to let you know that they're calling on you to listen again. Did 2 people die like this? Or only the one? Come on.
Maybe grandma, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, he's in the hospital. Yeah. Maybe my dad, a little similar, but
Maybe it's not an answer for me. Either you remember seeing it or just
No,
say,
no, no,
say, Rob,
just-
I'm not sure.
just, no.
Just say no.
Not sure.
You can say no.
No,
You can say no. I have no problem with it.
yeah.
It's fine. Was that your mom? Who had the bell?
My mother-in-law,
Okay, so your husband's mother.
yeah,
And she was in your home?
yes.
So you had a good heart. You bring Nana into your own house. You take care of her. She's in the living room dying of cancer in the hospice setting. She's ringing a bell. You were upstairs or in the back of the house. You were there kissing her goodbye, and she dies.
Yeah.
I never met you before. It's right there. Well, she's right there. I'm asking you to witness. This has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me. All I am is an interpreter. I see empty air just like you guys. But when outsiders are skeptical, which is expected, I ask them politely, explain this then. And they can't. They go, I don't know, but I don't believe it. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You know, that's fine. It's not a matter, this has nothing to do with belief. Nothing. It has to do with facts. Is it a fact your father lost his finger? Is it a fact this person had a hip thing on? Is it a fact this woman died in your living room? Is it a fact she rang a bell? And it's a fact I don't know you. I'm with that lady in the back. Here he comes. I can't control where it goes. When it happens, it rises like this. And it's like a glow behind you for a moment, and it pulls me in. Now, this some young lady on the end, all the way down, family.
Yeah.
I'm just asking, on parole? Are you just asking? How are you ladies connected?
Sister-in-laws.
Okay, I'm just asking softly. And is this one of your, both of your children, one of your children?
Their
Co-
cousin, she's mine.
Okay, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. All right. I mean, if it's for individual friends, you may not know each other's stories, so it gets convoluted, right? But if you tend to come out of the same cloth, out of the same family, there's a sharing of similar information. You kind of say, I know what they're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So with all respect, let me do this. No, don't mind me. Do one of you know someone that lost part of their face?
No.
Did someone have cancer of the jaw or in the mouth itself?
Yes.
Listen to me carefully. What's your name, please?
Georgina.
Georgina?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Listen to me, young lady. Listen carefully. I had cancer a long time ago. I did. I was very good doctors. I was fortunate to catch it very early. Radiation, I was good to go. Here I stand, by God's grace, 10 years, 11 years later. Lucky guy, right? So in my work, if someone says, do you know someone that had cancer? In the average family, you're going to find somebody. I mean, give me a break, right? I mean, there's so many types out there. You're going to eventually find my cousin's brother or something in there, right? But this person's going to their mouth.
Yes.
Would you know offhand, and you know them well?
My mother.
Oh, don't tell me yet. Mom's crossed?
Yes.
She's right here. She's going like this. Now, stay with me. Sometimes, you know, mouth cancer cannot be noticed, right? If you're chewing food, you're eating, drinking, you take this, you take that. But you know if she had gone to a dentist or she had gone to an oral exam and they found a black spot? Or her tongue started to swell on the side?
No, I didn't know.
No, I'm asking if you know that.
No.
How did they discover it?
She was choking on rice.
And did she go to a physician?
Yes.
Did the doctor open up her mouth
Yes.
and say, let me take a peek in there? And he said, I don't like what I'm seeing?
Yes.
That's it. Sometimes oral people find it. They're doing a cleaning and they say, what the hell is this black spot? I want you to go to an oncologist, some ENT specialist, ear, nose, and throat guy, and right like that, right? Gently. Either they had treatment for it, of course, right? Either she had radiation. And are you telling me that she didn't have any surgical intervention?
I don't recall. I'm not sure.
You're not sure if they operated on your mother's throat?
Actually, yes, they did.
Okay. How did you get that quick recall?
'Cause I was with my
I'm such a
mom.
pest. I'm so annoying. I'm so
remembering
annoying.
the
I'm so
concept.
annoying. So if you're telling,
Consult with the
but stay with me, stay with me. If you said to me, Robert, my mother had throat cancer, she never would treat it, she jumped out a window, she didn't want to deal with it. That's not her.
No.
Well, I meet people who get 4-stage cancer, and rather than going through the suffering, because the ending is only going to end in death anyway, they take a few pills, they jump off a bridge into a water, and they're gone. They don't want to go through all the craziness.
No, she did.
I understand, but she did, because she had you and she had a family, right or wrong.
Yes.
Would you know if they went down her gullet into her throat?
Yes.
Did it reshape part of her? There was no, did it? That's, okay, did it scallop in here? Did it thin her throat out?
Not visibly.
Okay, but how do you know that took place? Because she keeps making me feel they thinned out my throat, like it made my throat thin.
Because they put a.
Did they put a trach hole in her?
No, they put a netting in there to keep it open.
Okay. There's something about, they did something to her throat for surgically. But the way she's presenting it to me, she makes me feel like the side of her jaw hurt.
It bothered her
How do you know that?
because I remember her commenting that she was uncomfortable
With her?
with her throat.
Well, of course.
And she had radiation, so it dropped.
Burns and effect. Okay.
Nothing tasted right.
Okay, I don't want to overtalk you, okay? Excuse me. But that woman came to me like this when I first went over here. Because she called me from here. She says, come here. You understand? Now, it's a little tricky. Okay? I don't like this. Don't mind me. I just see things I don't always want to see. With respect. You had a funeral,
Yes.
right? Was there someone that didn't show up that she was counting on or you thought should have been there? That didn't come?
Not that I'm aware of.
Think again. I'm not trying to push you into it. Are you sure there was not an upsetment at the funeral or someone didn't say something out of turn? You can say no.
No, they were there, but there were issues.
Say it. Everybody's got issues.
Yeah.
I'm talking in front of the casket.
Not that I know of, no.
I'll do it again. Are you sure there was no hard words or someone said, like, what are they doing here?
That would be me.
That would be you.
I,
All right, stay with me. Hang on. This is not a judgment.
but it wasn't in front of the casket.
Okay.
It was before.
Okay, listen to me. I'm not asking if it was your birthday party
No, of course.
or one of your children's graduation exercises. If this is the time that the woman of the throat was being prepared, her final journey, having a funeral process, having a memorial, having a wake, having something where you're paying your final last respects in whatever way your family chooses to do that, right? So you're there, other people are in and out. Why is she making me feel she heard? I didn't realize it was you until you just shared it. Did you have comments internally about other people? Were you saying, why are they coming? Now they're showing up?
No, it wasn't like that.
What was it?
My aunt was rude. It was
That's
her
your mother's sister?
It was her sister.
Okay.
And I told my aunt that if she didn't apologize for her behavior, I was going to have her rolled out of there like a bowling ball.
That would kind of sum it up. So, like, the question would be, and your name again?
Georgina?
Georgina, that's such a cool name. Hear me out. You could have said, Robert, this is wrong. My mother died in COVID. They took her away, never saw her again.
No.
My mother died in a plane crash, took her away, I never saw her again. My mother died in the California forest fires, never saw her again. But I'm not saying those things.
No.
But there's certainly other options, are they not?
Yeah.
So they brought me around to talk about my face and my throat, surgery, yes, mesh, whatever you describe it as.
Mesh.
But she says, so I'm laying there, your mother's resting, right? And she says, I know my daughter had a beef with my sister, apparently, about something to the point to which, according to your language, I'm going to throw her like a bowling ball. So that's a pretty significant statement to make leading up to the wake.
Yes.
Right or wrong?
She was alive when I made the comment.
Yeah, so your mother knows that. Even if she had crossed, it doesn't matter.
That
You,
was there.
you understand? And I'm going to say something else. I want this to be wrong. Where does the guy come in that ran away from his children?
It's not exactly like that, but I think it would probably be my father.
No, it's
He was married before.
okay. Don't disrespect. And try not to give me information. All right. I know you just said my father was married. No, you don't have to apologize. I'm just asking the group. You say nothing to me. After I give it, I might say, who are they? People think I should know who these guys are. I don't know your family. I don't know you. You're lovely, but I don't know you. You understand what I'm saying? These beautiful girls, I don't know them. Now, how are you related to her mom?
Me?
Sure, let's try you.
She's my aunt.
She's your aunt. This is your aunt. Aunt. Right? So her mother is your great aunt.
Well, in-law.
In-law.
Yeah. She's my niece through marriage.
Niece through marriage.
And that's my daughter.
And that's your daughter.
Yes.
So this is your grandmother.
Yeah.
That keeps it simple, right, with the sneakers. So if you... I'm teasing with you. Lighten up. Very serious, kids.
She is.
That's all right. That's all right. Where does the artist come in?
I go to art school.
Oh, you do? Did you not know that?
I did, but my mother was also.
Okay, listen to me. I'm not asking if people visit a gallery. I can't remember the last time I walked into an art gallery. I was probably in my 20s in the city, in the village, but way back. I'm not an art guy. Do I have crap hanging on my walls? Yes, because I have holes in my walls for my crazy-ass kids for all so long, right? But we got stuff from Target. We got stuff. I'm only kidding. We have stuff, but there's nothing from art galleries. There's no named artists that we're purchasing a $5,000 piece from or something. That's not my cut, right? Friends of mine, yes, lovely stuff. Not me. But if that woman who crossed over was an artist and she drew, or she sculpted, or she did pottery, something similar, did your mother sculpt? Did she create? Did she do woodworking?
She sketched.
Okay, so she drew. Whether it be ink and palette, whether it be India ink, whether it be pen and pencil on paper. What medium did she, not psychic medium, what medium?
It was, I guess, paper and pencil. She was a.
Skilled.
She was a designer.
Okay, so stay with me. So if you're telling me that's true, I'll take you at your word. And your beautiful daughter also has the gift of art. And she's in art school. Not that you ever take an art requirement class in college or in high school like I did. You had to go and draw for 6 weeks, whatever the hell it was. But if you're an artist in your soul and you're learning the craft of art, yes? And your beautiful mother had design skills. In your home, or you live with your mom still?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Do you have any of your mothers' work up?
I have her gowns in my closet,
Yes. Yes.
and I have the sketches that go with them.
Yes. Why would I mention this to you guys? Sure you do. To say to you that your mother is at home with you all the time, as she is right here, I need proof. Right? To say, do you have a refrigerator? Do you have a front door? Do you have a roof over your head? 100% in this room, yes or no?
Yeah.
Not many people in this room, I don't think, have a mother with throat cancer that died, whose sister you had to threaten basically before she went in, who has a daughter that's in art school, and there's an artwork hanging in your house from your mother. I don't know you. I've been saying that a lot. So do you understand this? This is what I'm presenting. So that beautiful soul is coming to her child. Do you understand? She's right here. Your mother doesn't leave you. She will never leave you. And can I ask you one other thing? This is public. I don't know if I want to do this part. Was there ever a time that you needed therapy yourself?
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm a big fan of therapy. I think I'm not just talking about grief counseling. I'm talking prior to that.
Yes.
Did you have a time in high school or college where there was a lot of issues, let's call it?
Yes.
And did you seek consultation with a pro?
I did.
Did your mother encourage it?
Yes.
She's still doing it.
I know.
If you're still going, or if you're seeing somebody professionally, I'm not saying you need to, but you did. Some people get embarrassed that they went to therapy. I went to therapy for years.
No, I went.
I did for years. I think it's one of the great assets you can give yourself if you're open to change. You know, we have all these imperfections as people. I'm a big fan of it. So good for you.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, really.
Pleasure to meet you too.
Oh, thanks. That doesn't help the reading, but I appreciate it. Let me get some water. I'm coming over here. See, the hard part with this is I don't know. I mean, I know a few friends a little bit, but that's it. Right? So when I ask my audiences to ask themselves, how is this happening? How is it happening? Do you ever, let me ask you a question, and I'm going to come to that young lady. Do you ever pray to the people that die? In some way. I'm not saying it has to be religious Catholic stuff, but if you ever say, Daddy, I hope you're at peace, or Mommy, I hope you're at rest finally, or I'm sorry that we didn't get along and I wish you peace. You ever do that? Mm-hmm. Most people I meet pray in some way, and then they get up and walk away. They never wait to hear the answer. They don't pray out and wait for the response. They pray and they leave. You know why you leave? Because you don't believe they're hearing you. If you really believe they were hearing you, you wouldn't walk away from them, would you? Right? So what you guys call a reading, by the way, what am I reading? I'm not reading a damn thing. This is called discernment or the gift of interpretation. It was given to me by my boss to help a lovely young lady come to her mother. That's all this is, right? So what, in simple English, this is nothing more than the answer to your prayer, which they have been sending over and over and over again, but you don't know it. And because you don't know it, the reflex is to go look for bird feathers. You understand me? So if you decide you wish to substitute a bird feather for the soul of your mother, I can't stop that. I'm just suggesting there's something a little stronger than that to look for, rather than the convenience of a quarter found outside of 7-Eleven. And have it suggested that that is psychic. Before you go home, I will show you what psychic is. This is the result of psychic. Before you go home, I'll show you what it is, if you want me to. Okay? I'm coming to you. What's your name?
Jessica.
What is it?
Jessica.
Jessica. That's my oldest daughter's name. I really like you now. And you came alone?
No.
Oh, you're together? And they're friends with you?
No. Just the two of us.
Oh, that's your friend. I knew you had a friend somewhere in here. Oh, so you two guys came together. How are you ladies connected?
That's her mother. Yeah.
I'm just asking. All right. And your name? Susan. And your name's Jessica. That's very cool. It's my oldest girl. That's Jessie, too. We call her Jessie, but...
Yes, me too.
Same thing?
We only do.
Okay. Stay with me. I say this out of respect, of course, always, you know. Sometimes people have an agenda when they come in here, and they only want to hear from a certain person, to the exclusion of the other souls. That is a massive mistake. All right? Can I say something softly? Well, you don't know what I'm about to say. Do you guys know someone that interrupted their own life? What people call suicide? I'll wait. I'll wait. Are you certain that someone was not found in their own home deceased by their own doing? I disagree. You're sure?
Yeah.
Mother, you're sure? And no one didn't fake or threaten suicidal death?
Has anyone ever
Threatened it.
But is
They're living. Okay, I have to interpret.
Yes.
I often say to my guests, and don't take this the wrong way, I often tell my guests, this is not a court of law. Right? And even in a court of laws, unfortunately, today, they lie about everything. But that's a separate conversation. Do you have someone close to you that has repeatedly said, I'm going to kill myself? Who's that?
Yeah, can I say?
There's a big threat here. This is, they're telling me about something that, if you don't want to tell me, don't tell me.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you yet, but go on.
Okay. But they're making me feel it's coming.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you want this or no?
No, I want you. Go ahead.
Okay. I also shared before, either you're there with somebody when they die, like the bell or whatever before, or you walk in and someone is found deceased. They're dead in bed, they don't wake up for breakfast, something like that. You say, oh my God, they died in their sleep. This happens often. They're showing me that as well. Do you guys have someone that died in their sleep?
No.
And who was found in their bedroom deceased? Were near death and they had to call 911.
Well, she was already gone,
Who was that?
my mother.
Okay. You just said no to me.
But she didn't kill herself.
I didn't say kill herself.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
She was in a
Listen to me carefully. My mother died in Queens Hospital. Everyone was there. My brother's a physician. He took her there. She lasted 3 days and she crossed. She knew she was crossing. We all knew it. She went to Ireland, came back. We all knew it. So we had an opportunity and a great pleasure to be with my mother, Irish music, the whole ticket, before she shifted. All right? With respect, if your mother was found highly compromised, yes, if she was dying in her bed or brought to a medical facility where she was dying in a bed, yes or no?
She had just come out of the hospital.
Oh, that's what I'm bringing up to you. So if you said my mother was hit by a car, Robert, this is not it. So if your mother just came out of a hospital, she was in a recovery mode, or the hospital released her, they said, we've done all we can do for this beautiful soul, send her home, make her comfortable. It could have been final days of care. It could have been she's coming to the end of time, right? Rather than saying she broke a leg and she's home better now, you know. But if she's coming with respect, she's coming home, and you have her in your house, or you move into her house, you're taking care of her.
Correct.
Not telling me she's living in Florida with a sister nearby and she's all alone.
Correct.
I'm not getting any of that. And I get that a lot here, right? That woman is telling me a story.
Okay.
And she's telling me about someone you guys love that threatens to kill themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is that?
My sister.
This is your other daughter?
Yeah, but not recently.
I'm asking as a cop fact.
Yeah.
Did it occur a few times?
Yes.
Was she placed in a facility?
Yes.
Was there a psychiatrist that had to intervene?
Yes.
Not because of schizophrenic anxiety, but because of suicidal threats. Lock in unit, you got to make sure she doesn't hurt herself.
Yeah.
Take off the sneaker laces, take off the knives. That's a very significant thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
I'm glad you're telling me that she's not expressing those things anymore. No, I understand. I get it. I get it. With all respect, I'm not trying to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced it's over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to frighten you. If you want a message, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you said, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, this is my only child, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know. Who was Harold? Before you say, that's too quick of a... Well, if you dismiss me that quickly,
Yeah.
I can't help you.
Okay.
Do you understand me?
Go ahead.
Who has got the H? The Henry, the Herbert? Is there a Harvey? A Hal? Who's got the H sound? If you tell me no, I'll take it. There's no Charlie, Harley. I know we had the... Who's Charlie?
My cousin.
Crossed over? Okay. Charlie's not a common name. It's out there, like Charlie Brown. But you don't, the average guy doesn't call anybody Charlie anymore. I mean, I guess they do, but it's kind of an older school name.
It's an English interpreter.
Understood. But if it's got another name to it, whatever it is. But you're telling me there's no Henrietta, there's no... All right, I'll take at your word, of course. But if there's a cousin, Charlie, I'm hearing that CH sound in my head, and I'm going to say something else to you. This is odd. I don't know if you know this, but of course I'll share you both. Did somebody have a single bleed in the head that quieted down, and then it erupted and killed them? Who had the massive aneurysm bleed? Yes, ma'am. Who had the stroke or the massive bleed in the skull? 100%.
Can't recall.
No one didn't have a cerebral hemorrhage. You're sure? If you tell me no, I'll take it.
I mean, not in recent times that I would know about.
I hope you're recording this is what I requested. Good. So I could misunderstand something, and I don't think I am. But if you're telling me your beautiful mother crossed over, right, the way I described to you, and you have a sister, beautiful sister, a daughter, that at some point in time had a history of repeated threats of self-harm, and a good mother and a good sister shop up, and you're not doing this, you're not pulling this crap on us. You're going in for help. We're going to get you treatment. We're going to get over this hump that's got you whacked out here a little bit. You still stay in contact with her, I hope? Do you speak with her, I hope?
I don't speak to her.
That's right. That's right. Because her mother is telling me that you don't. There's a disconnect. And whether there's a pulling apart, or whether there's an attitude, or whether she harmed you in some way, broke your heart in some way, that drove you to the point where you say, I'm done with you. Yes? Mm-hmm. I'm just asking softly.
Yeah.
That woman is telling me this. I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but that's the storyline. And with all respect, in the best way you can, keep your eye on her. I don't want to see any harm come to this family, but they're making me really jumpy about it. And I want to be wrong as wrong can be here. I really do. And one other last thing. Was there a baby found in the back seat of a car? Who delivered a baby in a vehicle? Don't say no so quick. Or did someone have a miscarriage in a car? It's right. You're sure? With no disrespect.
Yeah, never.
Do you know if your sister had a baby?
I wouldn't know that.
So you wouldn't even know if your daughter became pregnant?
She would have told me no.
Okay, but she had no children. And she didn't interrupt the pregnancy as far as you know. And you're telling me no one else in the family didn't interrupt the pregnancy?
Interrupt.
Meaning, terminate their own,
And the pregnant.
and no one didn't have a miss accidentally. Okay, I'm glad you're recording this. It's either right here or it's here.
I mean, I know of a cousin who did.
Well, just say it.
A niece who did.
Just say it. Just say it.
A niece who might have.
A niece who might have what?
Yeah, had an abortion.
Had an abortion.
Well, people have terminations. I understand that. This is coming across to me like someone either had it in the car, where you heard about the cop delivering a baby in a car. It has that feeling to. Okay, I understand, right? But as far as you know, she went to a facility and did that. It wasn't like at home or
In a hospital.
some crazy combo witchcraft thing.
Many, many years ago.
Last little bit then, because I'm telling you this is right. I could misinterpret it, but they're leaning on your memory. I don't know you guys. So for me to bring up a conversation about a sister you don't speak to, who basically disconnected herself by the way she treated you, right? Why would I want to say this to you guys? But it's coming from her mother, your nana,
Yeah.
your grandma, right? That's where it's coming from. That's the voice. Last little bit. Did somebody have a major, I don't want to use the word major, it was similar that I had before, but a little different. Was there someone who refused to let someone come into the funeral parlor?
Refused.
Or you didn't want them to, I mean, we had it before, like the bowling ball thing down the alley, right? We had that. Like that. Did you ask someone to leave?
No.
And you didn't, and was someone that didn't show up at your mother's wake?
Mother's wake.
Did your mother have a funeral or a wake?
Yeah.
So you had some kind of a service to say goodbye, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Who went there that wasn't wanted? Was your sister there?
Yeah, but that we were fine. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just asking.
She had,
This is right.
she was waiting.
No, I think, is there a son, possibly?
Okay, did you have a brother
Yes.
that your mother didn't want there?
No.
Or had a falling out with him there
She was waiting,
for him?
and her sister to come, and they never came.
That's
before
it.
she
Yeah.
passed.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I have to interpret.
Yeah.
You understand? So when I don't care what science you come out of, what field of work you have to come out of, even in mathematics, I guess, you have to wait to see it, right? What I'm trying to get across to you guys is I don't know you at all. So how is this happening? That a woman that crossed over who had people that never came talking about your sister, your daughter, who attempted to hurt herself multiple times, that broke your heart and pulled it apart, right? I only suggest this to you out of compassion. Please try to fix it. Because if something happened to her or happened to you, God forbid, it would break your mother's heart, of course, but she knows that her two children never connected again. And the purpose of a mother is to bring union to her family, no? Isn't that what a mother does? And I'm sure she's trying. I'm sure she's trying, right? So my boss says what? Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. If you don't offer mercy, mercy will be denied. Make no mistake about this. Make no mistake. You must offer mercy. I'm in the back with you guys. Here he comes. I told you I'm a little intense, right? Well, the reason why is because I'm talking about people you love. And if you allow people in the marketplace, I'm not saying they all do it, to play with your grief or manipulate your grief, go home. Don't tolerate it. Does that make any sense? Don't. Right? Don't. Hold them accountable. Hold me accountable, of course, for what I'm saying. 100%. 100%. I'm with you guys. Please understand, I don't pick where I go. I'm being shown I'm being told where to go. Does that make any sense? I want to do everybody. I would love to, but we'll see how it shakes out. A mother-daughter?
Yeah.
I'm just asking something. That was a pretty quick guess. Yes, that's my mother. You're anxious? Where does anxiety come from?
My heart,
No.
my mind.
Yeah. Anxiety is a result of wanting something before it arrives, being impatient, and being demanding. I want the outcome to be the way I want it, and if it's not, it'll make me anxious. Anxiety is always a projection. You understand that, right?
Yep.
Do you understand that, right? Right? So it's always a projection. So anxiety can be controlled very easily by retooling the brain. Most people don't want to bother with that, though, right? Gently. I had a feeling from when I was over here before it was also with you guys, so I'm going to push this again. I don't know if you realize this. I may have shared this before. If I didn't, interrupt me if I did. You can only die 4 ways. Did I tell you that? Okay, let's go through it. You can get sick. Now, how you get sick is from the floor through the roof. Medical books. I mean, you can have malaria, you can have lupus. I mean, there's a million things that can kill you medically. Off the charts, right? Bad heart, bad lungs, bad da-da-da. Like this. But you can die of illness. Number 2, you can die of injury. Hit with a surfboard, fall into a volcano. I mean, you name it, you can get yourself whacked out. Number 3, someone can walk into your world and kill you. Right? And number 4, you can interrupt your own life and be found dead. Drug overdose, hang yourself in the closet. There's a lot of stuff. Softly, they're showing me someone who harmed somebody. Did someone kill somebody else? Or assist in someone dying? You would know this immediately. Are you sure? No?
Possible.
Not possibly. Not possibly. Let me ask you, what's your first name?
Christine.
Young lady?
Nicole.
Hi, Nicole and Chris. Listen to me carefully. Was there a rumor, a hint in your family or someone close to your heart that someone killed them? This is important. If you want me not to read you, I won't do. I don't want to push.
No. Yes.
Okay, with all respect. Why would you even think that? Don't give me the detailing, but you have someone that entered the life of somebody else and caused their death. Or gave them enough drugs to kill them? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm not asking if someone got behind their car in a fit of anger and ran them down at the intersection. Right? 2 police officers were just killed like that. My blood pressure goes through the roof with these guys, with all respect. But if someone gave someone what they call a hot shot, which is a drug with extra fentanyl, extra cocaine, high-end heroin, and the person using is not accustomed to it, it'll stop their heart. Yes? I'm asking softly, in your family, was someone found deceased from an overdose?
Yes.
May I ask who this is? Beware they not say, I won't say anything. I'll let this go.
No, it's okay.
Well, they need to hear you because they're right behind you.
It was your father.
Does she not know this? Lord have mercy. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't know. I wouldn't have shared it. It's okay. The man on the cross said, only the truth will set you free. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Did you find him? Or was he the one that had left home and left you?
Yes.
Okay. What's your name again, baby? Okay. Do you want me to do this?
Yes. No, I absolutely want this.
Okay, I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a father. I have feelings too, you know. I'm not made out of wood. I'm not a magician. I'm just Robert. But my boss works to ask me to help people, and that's what I'm trying to do. Gently, sweetheart. Did your dad abandon you? He's waiting for your answer.
I wouldn't say that.
Did he leave your mother?
Yes.
Did he not wake up with you every day?
Yes.
You may have had contact with him. You may have had good friendship with him. You may have been loving with him. And I hope that's the case. But with all respect to your beautiful mother and you, was there a night he didn't come home, or was there a time he just didn't come back?
Yes.
Okay. You remember it?
Yes.
Gently. Do you remember if your dad was found dead?
That night?
No, not that night. Another night. Down the road. Was he found dead?
Yes.
So you weren't sitting at his bedside because he had lung cancer. No. Right? He walked away from this beautiful woman to go into the world with other people, other play toys, whatever he was doing. But you must have been told, I imagine, that he had a heart attack or something, and that was the end of it. That's not what happened to him. He's telling me that he was using medications or drugs, and someone gave him something stronger than he should have taken, and it killed him. Is that correct? This is sorrow. Yes? But this is why we've gathered, no? This is the union of souls. Her dad is coming to his child. No disrespect to you. I don't mean to point. He's behind her. I'm not just saying because Dr. Dre's on your shirt, but he's behind you, and he's trying to comfort her because she didn't know the truth of it. And there must have been something in your belly that sensed something, but he's making it very, very clear now. He says, they murdered me. They gave me more than I should have had. That's how it feels. Either the drug dealer or a friend of his or somebody else gave him something he couldn't cope with, and he just laid down and never got up again. Does that sound about right? Gently. And I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Christine.
Yeah, please forgive me, Chris, if I forget names. I'm sorry about this, God, I'm so sorry. Did you ask for help to get him buried and you wouldn't get it?
No.
You're not telling me something. Was there resistance to like the casket and the place?
Yes.
From who?
His mother.
Okay, respectfully. I don't know about families, but I think, you know, my wife and I would make the ultimate decision, right? Usually a wife, if she's laying her husband to earth or cremation, what it may be, the wife usually says, listen, this is my husband. I know it's your son, but this is my husband. I'm going to decide, my daughter, we're going to decide what we're going to do with her dad, right? But did his mother give you a hard time?
Yes.
While she was living? Did she blame you for this?
Yes.
Did you do that too?
Did I do what?
Was there a blaming of your mother? Come on.
Yes, there was.
I'm gonna yell at
The whole
you.
time they were not together. when
Okay.
he passed.
Okay, but did you blame her for that?
Did I blame her?
Yeah. You drove him out, you pushed him away, he fell on hard times, and he wound up dying. And I thought it was a heart attack.
I don't know.
Fair answer. I think you know what I'm talking about. No disrespect. Your dad's coming to clear the air here. He's not blaming your mother. So I don't know where the hell that came from. You come across as a good lady to me. I'm not trying to throw bouquets at you, nor am I defending you. I'm not defending people. But that soul who's telling me he died of an overdose, his own daughter, I didn't mean to point, sweetheart, but his own daughter thought it was a heart attack. It was not. He had a falling out with you, going out into the world, doing whatever hell he was doing out there. Most men are bubbleheads, right? We're friends, I can tease him, right? But at the end of the day, there was friction with his mother too, and he's making me feel, with respect to you, Chris, his mother was blaming you for pushing him out. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That's not what happened. You understand me? I'm not here to defend you. I'm here to interpret what's being sent because I know it to be so. Okay? So your dad is coming to you to help you understand what happened to him for real. And he is protecting you, sweetheart. I'm not just saying this to her. He will never leave you, baby. Your dad's right behind you, sweetheart. Thank you for listening. I just got to catch my breath for a second. Playtime is over. Have you not seen that? Well, people don't expect to walk into this. Not me. They don't expect to walk into this. Not the room either. This is psychic. This is what it is. Not butterflies and rainbows. I'll explain all of that at the end. I'm over here, actually. I can finally sit. Oh, good. Now, how are you guys connected?
Girlfriend.
I'm just asking. So, boyfriend, girlfriend, mother, daughter, mom's boyfriend. That about sum it up?
That guy.
No, these things happen, yes? Don't mind me. Okay. This is a little odd. I know I'm odd, but I know this is a little odd. With respect to the women, was there a young lady born or someone born or had a surgical process that left one breast larger than the other?
Maybe.
Not maybe.
I don't.
Oh, no, I want you to think. Did somebody have either a birth abnormality when one breast, before you say no, when people only think of two people and say no to the rest of it, I'm just asking, did someone have breast surgery? Okay. You have augmentation to improve the breast appearance, I guess, for whatever reasons. And then you have people that can have surgery for the breast because they've been badly burned, they've got breast cancer, they've had a car accident and it's cut their breast off, God forbid, and they have to have rebuild procedures done. These top specialist thoracic guys go in and do magic, right? Who had the breast repair?
My mom.
Crossed over?
No.
She's still here. With respect, if your mother's still around, that's your nana. No, yes? I don't want to expose anything that's not necessarily to be exposed. Well, that just happened once already. I don't want it to repeat if I can avoid it. Did your mother have breast cancer? Okay, I'm just asking. Because she may have been minimal at birth, let's call it, and she wanted to have a little more of a full look, and she may have gone to a person with augmentation. People do it all the time, right? They're on TV every day, plastic surgery guys, right? But if she had breast cancer, it doesn't always translate into surgery of the breast tissue. Sometimes radiation will do it, sometimes chemo will do it, I guess. I mean, what the hell do I know about it? Metastatic breast cancer, I don't know. But if someone had that being your mother, yes, it attacked both breasts, right? She had a bilateral mastectomy. So when I sat down, they say, talk about the woman of the breasts. But she's still living. That's what you're telling me, right? With respect, similar to the family in the back, where does the man come in that also pulled away from his child? Is there a male in your family that pulled away from his child? Left home. Your daughter's husband, what happened to her father?
Right.
Did he leave home?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You could say he was killed. He was a New York City firefighter. He died as a hero on 9/11.
Right.
Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay,
He left, yeah.
I understand. So someone is sharing this with me. That's where he comes in, right? Because with respect, what's your first name?
Jim.
Jim. So, nice guy. I mean, you seem like you're comfortable with each other, right? So, with respect to your daughter, if your husband pulled away, It's not saying my husband died, right? He was killed in a car accident, and I was shattered, and Jim showed up, a great guy, and we became close over that period of time, and he's good with my daughter. I get it. That's not what happened here. So there came a time in which you had a child with this gentleman, and you or he decided, no more, out the door. Now, I do meet dads that go out the door, and they live in the next town, and they are very close to their daughter. Yeah, that's you? Do your dads close to you?
Yeah.
No.
Well, not physically, but I feel
Well, no. I'm not saying do you feel him. Does he not call you?
No.
Does he not spend time with you? That's what I'm talking about. So, and again, there's no judgment here. I'm not trying to judge. Please misunderstand me. But I have 4 children. You would have to kill me not to see my kids. I don't mean to speak out of turn here, but you'd have to kill me. And my wife is the same way. We are very family-based like that. All right? I'm not judging your dad. Please don't misunderstand me, honey. But someone who loves you is telling me about your mother. And someone who loves you is telling me about the absence of her dad. Now, if you see him for Christmas, Thanksgiving, he may send you a card, or you call him on the phone, or you FaceTime or something, fine. But I think for most young women, most young men, they want to have a cozy relationship with their pop, don't they? I think so. But perhaps it's not ready right now. I'm hoping down the road maybe things will get better. You'll see him more often as you get older in age and time, and maybe you'll have that. Yes? So far, so good. You understand? All right. The person who broke their back is whom? Who had the major spinal cord issue? I'll wait. Did someone fracture their lower back? There was no injury to the spine. No one was not left partially compromised in a paralysis?
Yeah.
Well, come on now. I'm not talking about a waitress that works.
But not from a spine.
All right, just stay with me for a minute. If someone is paralyzed, yes?
Sort of, yeah.
Not sort of. Does someone have ALS? Does someone have a neuromuscular disease?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yep.
Okay, stay with me. I worked in special ed for a long time. I was just at my niece's not christening. What the hell do you call it? What was I at?
shower, baby shower.
Baby shower. I was just at my niece's baby shower. I forget the names of all these things. Look at my hair color. I was just at my niece's, this is last weekend, and there was a beautiful young woman there. I don't know how old she was, maybe 30, 35, 40 at the most, with ALS. I can't tell you how heartbreaking it was. She can't speak. She can't do it. She has to use a vision board, like she has to look at things and it was really, but the guy that was with her, was that her husband?
Yes.
That guy is outstanding. Whoever the hell that guy is, man, he's a great guy. He took care of this woman like she was a queen. He fed her, he watched her, he took care of her. That's a stand-up guy, boy. Because he could walk away from that woman in a heartbeat. Good-looking man, too. He could say, I'm done with you. Go to a facility. You're out. I'll take care of it. I'm going to get somebody else. You know, I'm sure intimacy's out the window. All that stuff is gone. But that man was like this. I was very proud to see it, right? I hope I would be that way, that courageous. If it ever happened, God forbid, but I would hope so. So coming back to you, who in your family has this neurological impairment?
Excuse me, had my father.
Okay, with all respect. This is your grandpa? Did you know about this? What's your name again before I yell at you?
Sammy.
Sam?
Sammy, yeah.
Samia?
Sammy.
Sammy, like Samantha, but Sammy.
Yeah.
And your name again? Maria? And Jim. Okay. So if you're telling me that your own dad, his body broke down on him,
Yeah.
yes? Unable to go to the bathroom perhaps on his own, maybe limited function. Did he have neuropathy? Did he have issues of not being able to move? And
It was called NHP, and his legs,
I'm not sure what that is, but
he couldn't move it. He couldn't walk for a while.
okay. So if he couldn't walk, and you see someone who can't walk, the reflex is to say they must be paralyzed. Would that be fair to say? I think that's reasonable, right? That's when I first sat down, that's what I started to see. A man who's telling me he couldn't walk. that same man, no disrespect, knows that your father and your mother pulled apart. But he also knows that your father, I don't mean to judge, doesn't see you very often. And it bothers him. And he also knows about the woman who has the breast issues. That's your mother. And they stayed together, did they not? Or, hold on. Before your father died, was your mother there?
No,
Your mother didn't go around your dad when your dad died?
no.
They were already apart. And your mother didn't remarry?
My mother did one.
Okay, then I misunderstood something. Is he also crossed?
No.
So he's still with your mother? Okay. I don't know about that. I believe you if what you tell me.
Yeah.
Who was Anthony?
I had an old neighbor, Anthony.
No, we all have Anthony's. Was there an Annette and Anna? And no Angela, nothing like that? I'm going to disagree. They could be living. Are you sure? Who's Ange?
Oh, my ex-sister-in-law.
If you tell me no, I take it as a fact. So when you were married to your husband, what was his sister's name?
His sister's Kim.
Who's Ange then?
His brother's wife.
So there's an Ange that you knew. Okay, that's all I need. This is also very weird. No, it's odd. Did someone give away a child? Oh, wait.
My uncle.
You go no very quickly, don't you? Why is that? But that's a defense mechanism.
No, because it's just different parts of.
No. They're talking to you, not to me.
Right.
So
Yeah,
they're
someone gave away
describing,
a child.
with respect, they're describing certain things that only you, perhaps your daughter, I don't know how much Jim would know, but only you guys would know. Yes? To make sure they're communicating to the right person. Right or wrong?
Yep.
Okay. So if you're telling me someone gave away a child,
Yeah.
I mean, for a beautiful mother, for the women in this room who have children, the idea of giving that baby away like you're giving away a pair of shoes, there's a disconnect between mother and baby. Oh my God. Right or wrong? Come on. But if you're telling me there's someone that gave away a child, your mother had her breast removed, your father died of a that thing, the illness of the limbs that he crossed over. There was no connection with you to him for a long time? Is that what you're
We were
telling?
distant.
And when he died, you weren't there either?
No,
Did you go to his funeral? Did you pay your respects?
it was over COVID, so there was.
I'm just asking you a quick question.
Yes, I
So if there was some ceremony, something, goodbye,
Yes.
daddy, were you there?
Yeah, I
But
was.
not his mother, wife.
No.
Right, so they had
Oh,
such,
was his wife?
your mother,
His wife.
the other one he
My
married.
stepmother?
Yes.
Was there, yes.
That she was there.
Yes.
And where does the person come in that went blind? Who lost all? You have a track record of saying no. Who lost their eyesight? It's either here or here. Did someone go blind or have macular degeneration? Or no one was not hit with hot water, or someone didn't get a single eye injury? I disagree with you. Okay, I'll take
My
it.
dog.
Yeah, well, say, but hang on. I've had dogs since I'm 5. I have a dog home now. My dogs are like my children, right? If someone said to me, did someone put a dog down in your basement with the vet coming to your house, I would know immediately it's my dog. I would know, right? I'm asking a question. If you have an animal that's crossed,
No,
the animal is
she's
still here? So you have a dog at home? Is that dog blind?
Mostly blind, yes.
That's it. Well, hold on. To make the claim from your dad that he comes to visit his daughter, you, he's going to give me something that is factual about where he visits, like the artwork with the women in the back. Now, if you've got a blind or almost pure blind animal in your home, and he's referring to someone blind, he's talking about a living organism, a living creature that's blind. You happen to have a pet, which I hope was like a child to you, that is blind, bumps into walls, runs, can't see too much, shadows, whatever. Yes, sir? Is that him?
It's not funny. How are you?
And also, who was born or died on Valentine's Day? What's on the 14th?
His birthday
What's on the 14th? No birthday on the 14th?
My birthday's the 14th. But
Okay.
not of-
I didn't say no. If I want, Jim, if I wanted you to say the number 25, what holiday would you use? Christmas, no? I would hope. If I said number 1, what holiday would you use? New Year's Day.
Right.
If I said the number 4, you would say July 4th. They want me to talk about the man of the 14th. That's you. Right? And respectfully. Did you know each other before your husband?
No.
So it was a brand new. You never met her husband?
Not before.
But you met him since.
Yes.
I'm just asking, because you're telling me you barely see him. But you see him more than she sees him?
No.
So you don't see him that often then?
No.
I'm just asking. See, how you doing? Nice to meet you. How are you? That kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to get one more reading in before we finish, because I want to show you the door before you go home. As I promised, I can't get to everybody. I'm trying my best. You know, I've read a lot of people here this afternoon. Someone's not telling me something. I'm not saying you're lying. Well, there's a difference between I forget or I'm not thinking about that, and I'm just not going to tell you. People want the reading, and then when it comes, they don't want the reading. Why is that? Because they don't want to feel like they've been fooled. That's why. There's no fooling going on in here. I hope you see that, right? No games. My boss would shut me off like that. 100%. Understand? I'm going to say one last thing, and then I'm coming down here. Where it goes, I don't know yet. But I want to get one more in. Is that okay? You guys have another 15 minutes for me? Yes. Is that cool with everybody? Because I'm supposed to finish at 3:30 here, but I'm going to go ahead with it anyway. In the family, was someone found hung?
No.
And no one was not found by their own doing. No one didn't attempt to kill themselves. I'm not talking about the family behind.
No.
You're sure? No?
Attempt.
Yes, sir. Did you not know that? I guess you don't know that.
My family.
Yeah, with respect, did someone attempt to kill themselves?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Told me.
The person told you.
Yeah.
They said, I tried to kill myself, but I'm a bad suicide person? I'm not trying to be funny, but did someone try to shoot themselves? Did someone do ligature strangulation?
No.
Did someone try to overdose themselves?
No.
They just tried to kill themselves.
Yes.
Jump in front of the water, jump in front of a train. How did they try to kill themselves?
Wrists. Try to slit.
They tried to cut in a bathroom or whatever, in a bathtub like the gangsters of old.
I actually don't know.
That's a different answer.
Right.
If you don't know,
I
that's
know that, but I don't know how. Where.
okay. Last little bit. Who had the fractured sternum for breastbone? Who had the open heart surgery?
My stepfather did.
Okay, I'm just asking. People have it. I get it. Is he also with us still?
He's still here.
Did he have 2 procedures?
He might have. It was like a 5-time bypass surgery.
Okay. There's a warning here about him. There is. And it's coming across from the man who I'm taking to be your dad, who's the guy that's kind of, quote, I hate to say the word replace, but he's the guy that's replacing your biological father. Your mother remarries, the guy with the breast issues, and she's got a guy around him who's had open heart procedures. Does he have a very fragile heart?
Yeah.
Did that scare you? That's the vents. People think it's the demons are coming in. Listen to me. In the same way I told that family behind you, when they make me anxious, right? Which I was talking about with the young lady before, about having anxiety. The anxiety is quelled by the truth. The truth always quells anxiety. Did you know that? It always does. The truth will always free you. Therefore, there's no more anxiety. I know what's next. I know it. I don't like it, but I know it, right? If you're telling me that your stepdad, the man your mother married, had multiple heart conditions, quadruple bypass, open heart procedures, there is something about that man that your father is telling me to tell you about.
Okay.
To stay close to him too. I would strongly encourage him to get another checkup. And I mean a thorough one. sincerely, like nuclear testing stuff. There's something going on with this guy. And I hope I'm wrong, but at the same time, I want to be right to try to save a life. Okay?
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know you guys. That's the part that people, I always repeat this to people. You understand? Okay, I'm going to come down here. We'll see what happens. They're pulling me this way. Oh, sorry. Oh. Oh boy, oh boy. Don't mind my faces, please. I see things I don't want to see, you know, and your name?
Danielle.
Would you know someone that went through the windshield of a car? Who was killed in a car accident? Mm-hmm. Okay. I have friends of mine over my long time of being on Earth that I know of car crashes. One or two of my friends did die in motorcycle accidents. Mm-hmm. I've had that. Mm-hmm. But no one at the tip of my tongue. Thank goodness. Other stuff, yes. Do you know someone close to you? They would have to be close. I'm not asking if they had a fender bender. I'm asking if there was a full-blown accident and they were killed in that car crash at the scene. You know them well?
My cousin.
Okay. Because that's the person that's behind you. Now, you could be in a car accident where you're hit by a car and you wind up in the woods, but there's no through the windshield. Do you know if they were in the vehicle? They were outside of it, correct? Do you know if someone jumped a curb or a drunk driver hit them? That kind of a thing? Gently. Would you know if there was a hit and run? Or it took a while for them to find the guy that hit it?
I'm not sure the specifics of that.
Oh, that's fair. I'll take the honesty of that, right? Now, sometimes people go in for belly surgery, do they not? Well, just stay with me. People can have appendicitis. People can have women's reproductive stuff going on. Guys can have reproductive stuff going on. People can have Crohn's. They can have colitis. They can have various maladies of the intestinal system, right?
Yes.
That may result in surgery. Yes? Would you know the person that had the surgery and either developed a serious infection, like a sepsil infection, or they died right after the surgery? Who passed after surgery?
My husband.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
It wasn't stomach. It was,
Okay, no.
Yeah.
Okay. If your husband has crossed over, yes? You're a young lady. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Thanks.
No, I'm sorry. But if you're telling me you have a cousin that was killed in a car crash, if you said, Robert, my husband died in 9/11, right? Right? I mean, that would make you the best-looking 60-year-old on earth, right? Okay. But if he died from a surgical procedure, or if he had post-op difficulties, yes or no?
Yes.
If you go into a hospital, I think for most people, you go in, you place your trust and care in the people that work there. Most of them are awesome. They really are. And you want your husband to come home. That didn't happen. Or if he came home, he died at home. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, I'm not asking if he ever had a surgery. After he came home from having surgery across his belly, yes? Yes?
Yes.
Not his knee surgery, belly, yes?
It wasn't belly, but in that general area.
Well, I mean, that goes into my throat. It could be heart, but it has to be something of surgery.
Groin.
Groin, okay, groin. Okay, without being just.
Yeah.
Okay, if he had a bladder issue, if he had a groin issue, if he had cancer in the lower part of his belly, whatever that was, and he sent him home to recover, quote unquote, and he did not. Were you laying next to him? Did you wake up to him, or knew he was dying right next to you? And you held him as he died? I'm sorry.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. God knows I'm sorry. I guess if you're going to have to cross in the arms of one you love so deeply, he's right behind you, baby. And the person that was in the car accident brought him to you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thanks. All right, I know I didn't get to some of you. I'm sorry. It's got nothing to do with me. I hope you understand this. The souls that have entered are trusting you to bear witness to this, yes? Which means, even if I didn't get a chance to read you, the fact that when you say a prayer out loud, they come a running. And they're counting on you to bear witness to this.